Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hypergamous Journey. My name is Denise. At this channel, we discuss dating advice, hypergamous dating advice for women 55 and older. And maybe I should change it from 55, but that's what I originally started at. But the YouTube analytics tell me that depending on the video, my demographic is as young as 24 or 5. Today, I'd like to update you on my date that I had on Saturday from It's Just Lunch. They arranged the date. The gentleman was 68, handsome, tall, 6'4", and another Nigerian man. He looked like he was from America. Like any ethnic group, there's just something about the facial features that you can say, oh, she or he is from Ethiopia, or he or she is from America. So he looked like he was from America. And so I can sometimes tell people who are from Nigeria, but I couldn't tell with him. So anyway, I was surprised to learn he was from Nigeria. He had an accent, but I thought he was from the Caribbean. So anyway, you can't judge a book by its cover, right? So on one hand, the date went well, and on the other hand, not so well. Again, another 68-year-old man who is constantly looking at other women. He couldn't hold eye contact with me for not even a half a minute. Okay, so let's see how long half a minute is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 seconds, right? That is half a minute. He couldn't hold eye contact with me for that long. Every time a woman walked by, a woman came into our area, and most of the servers were women, and the cashier station was right behind me. So anytime a woman walked to the cashier station or walked past him in his direction or came in from the side, he was looking at that woman or women. So when we would talk, he would look at me and look at me and look at me and look at me, look. So he couldn't even hold eye contact with me for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. He couldn't hold eye contact with me for not even 5 seconds. So that was annoying. Finally, the conversation was okay. It's never easy to create conversation with someone that you are meeting for the first time. So, how do you say, to give him credit and myself, we did well with each other. Excuse me. We did well with each other, creating conversation around mutual interests, considering the fact that we just met each other. So the conversation was okay, but the constant looking at other women and him not being able to maintain eye contact with me was very annoying. In addition, rather than our bodies being straight across from each other, his was on a slight diagonal. So his energy really wasn't going directly to me, nor mine to him. Even though I was sitting straight in front of him, his was just a little bit of a diagonal away from me, so that his energy was going outward, just past me. So based on the many dates I've had from It's Just Lunch, I took that as a sign of no interest. Finally, I just got so tired of him looking at other women that I just said, I don't know how it came up, but I said, well, it seems like you don't really have any interest in me. So what has your dating experience been like with It's Just Lunch? And so he said, well, what makes you think that I don't have any interest in you? I said, well, it's just a feeling. So rather than be confrontational and say, well, you keep looking at other women as they come and go, you can't hold eye contact with me for 2 seconds or 3 seconds before you break it to look at someone else, I didn't want to put him on the defensive because I wanted information from him. So what I said, well, it's just a feeling that I have. And so he said, no, I am interested. I was like, oh, okay. It just doesn't feel that way. So then I began to ask him questions about It's Just Lunch. And he said that he had been with them for 10 days and he had had 3 dates. And it was really overwhelming for him and that he had a headache. So I was like, well, to myself, does he have a headache from me talking and meeting with me? Or he has a headache from what he did, last night or this morning? So, but isn't it really, if he has a headache, it's none of my business. He got a headache. So I said, well, he said he went on 3 dates. So I said, well, did you like anyone? And he said, well, I really don't want to say. I said, okay. And I asked him if he had seen my pictures, and he said he did not. And the reason why I asked him that is because when I got there before him, so I was waiting for him to arrive, I saw his picture. So as soon as he walked in, I knew it was him. And so I had this very pleasant smile. And he had a scowl on his face. So when he saw me, he was still scowling. He said, Denise? And I said, yes. And I don't think I offered to shake his hand. I said, yes. So I stood up and the hostess said, okay, I will seat you now. And she sat us down. But he had like a scowl on his face or some kind of disapproval. And I've told you before that I've had other dates or other matches where when they see me, they have this look of disapproval. And so he said, and so that's what caused me to ask, did you see my pictures? And so he said he did not. So I said, oh, okay. So do you like women with short hair or long hair? Well, it just really depends on the woman. And he said, it is about how they physically look and if there's an attraction. And then he said, you are an attractive woman. Well, to me, it sounded kind of forced because by this time we have been talking and we've both eaten. So it's been an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And you didn't say anything about me being attractive or I look nice today. And like I've said many times before, I don't need that. But it's one more indication that the man is interested or is attracted to me. So what I've noticed is that he didn't say it, before I asked the question about what kind of woman he likes. And some people would say, well, why would you, do that? It's just information. It's nothing personal against me. But if a man likes long hair and I show up with this very short do, he's not going to be attracted. And then he's going to look at me with disapproval. So I told It's Just Lunch that he didn't see my pictures, which puts me in an awkward position of dealing with a man's outward disapproval of me. And it's not fair. So he told me that he wasn't a member, quote, of the agency, and they don't give non-members a picture of the date. So I have to address that with my matchmaker, which I haven't done yet. And I'll let you know what happens. So, sorry, had to look at the time. So that was my date. So finally, towards the end, he didn't pay. And of course, I had to pay for my own. So with It's Just Lunch, you both agree to pay for your own dates because they want to make it as low pressure as possible. So I understood. He didn't pay. And he looked at me with disapproval upon first impression. And what else? He asked for my number, and it didn't seem genuine. And he wrote it on a piece of paper. And it could be he did that because he's not comfortable, you know, he can't quickly enter it like a young person would. So that could be an indication. But I really felt he asked for my number because I had already called him out about lack of interest. And so he wanted to save his own face by asking for my number. But I honestly don't expect to hear from him. And if I do, it'll be, you know, one call and that's all. One call and that's all. So yeah, that's my date. That was my date. And so I'm going to address this no picture thing with It's Just Lunch because I feel like the other disapproving looks that I have gotten with other dates, I think it's been 4 out of 6. I don't think they saw my picture. And like I said, if the match is a man who likes a woman with short hair, with long hair, and I show up with short hair, and he's not going to be attractive. So my date said, you know, when I asked him about the long hair versus short hair, he said he didn't have a preference, that it depends on the woman. He said, of course, I have to be attracted to her. So I said, okay. And yeah, so I'm just tired of meeting men with this disapproving look, you know? I don't need to meet those men. I'm not their type. I don't meet what they're physically looking for. And I think the 2 men that did say I looked nice right off the bat and things of that nature, I believe they may have seen my picture. Yeah. So thank you for watching. And that's the update on match number 6 with It's Just Lunch. Bye.